Every year, we will need a pregnant woman for a sacrifice. The soul of the unborn baby will be used to renew your life force.
The pregnant woman gets killed and thrown into the forest for vultures to feed on. He recited an incantation to release his wife from the bondage.
I'm tired.
Gun, and he shot Ease angrily. Ease gripped his chest. In a blossom village full of riches and wealth, a mighty kingdom thrived under the rule of Okiki dynasty. The villagers does various works, and many of them were rich. This made the village a rich village, and neighboring villages respected the village and its villagers. The royal family is just one in the village, and that is the family of Okeka. It is only when a king dies that another king will be appointed. Pa Okeka used to be the king. Some weeks back, Pa Okeki died from a great illness, and the necessary ritual was done, after which appointing a new king was next. The king will definitely come from the late king's family, and this will be the eldest son of the late king. The late king, Pa Okiki, had numerous wives, counts up to 15, and he has up to 47 children, each wife giving birth to not less than 3 children. At this point, there were many rivalry for who was to be the next king. However, the first and eldest son of the king is entitled to this position. His name is Ebuka. Ebuka, a 35-year-old handsome man, was going to be the next king. Before anyone gets enthroned as a king, several sacrifices and rituals must be done. Part of this includes the king staying indoor, in a sacred room for 7 days and nights, without seeing the sun or moon, after which he will be crowned the king. After staying in the sacred room for 7 days and night, he will be fortified by 7 great priests across the whole village. They will be there chanting and fortifying him in the sacred room for the said 7 days. The first day passed, second, third, and then last. On the 7th day, the whole villagers garnered in the palace. The palace, located at the center of the village, is designed with grand, ornate, and pillars. Its roof thatched with lavish, colorful textiles, intricate patterns. Ebuka was crowned the king in front of all villagers. The whole village rejoiced, and his coronation was met with great fanfare. But little did the villagers know that their new king's reign was built on a sinister foundation. Just after the ceremony had been concluded, one of the priests called the notice of the king to something.
My king, there is something baffling revealed to me by the gods during your coronation fortification, and it might be a great shortcoming to your reign. While the coronation fortification was being performed, the oracle showed me a bad signal. My king, despite your wisdom and fierceness, you have only few years to live and enjoy the throne. You are not destined to live long.
King Ebuka's face shone with disappointment.
What does that mean?
He began to stammer. The words couldn't come out clear from his mouth. He paused for a while and then continued.
Is it possible I know how many years I have left on Earth?
With utmost assurance, the priest replied with a resounding yes.
Of course, my king, the oracle showed me everything. You only have 5 years to enjoy the throne. However, you will enjoy your reign with good health, prosperity, happiness, and peace in the whole village to crown it all.
Usieba,
The king shouted.
what is the essence of everything you just mentioned if there is no long life for me? What can I do to reverse this? I mean, what can be done to ensure that I live beyond 5 years?
The priest heaved a great sigh. Just then, he told the king, there is always a solution to every problem. However, the solution might be difficult and might demand the life of somebody.
Then do it.
The king shouted.
I am a king and I have authority over the lives of anything, both animals and humans. Do it. Do it.
He exclaimed. The priest heaved a great sigh once again. After what seems to be like an impossible thing to say, the priest finally said the solution.
Every year, we will need a pregnant woman for a sacrifice. The baby that is yet to be born will be the sacrifice of renewal for you. The soul of the unborn baby will be used to renew your life force. Once the pregnant woman gets killed, more years will be added to your existence. However, once we start, there is no going back. It must be done every year, till the day you decide to leave the throne and join your ancestors. That is when the killing of pregnant women will stop. However, there is a warning. Once the pregnant woman is captured, she must not see neither the sun or moon for 3 days till the life renewal ritual is done, after which the woman will be killed.
The king agreed to this, promising to keep to all rules tied to it. From that day, the king killed pregnant women every year, using them as sacrifice for the renewal of his life. His guards will toil the village searching for any available pregnant woman to kidnap both day and night. No one suspected it was from the king because anytime the guards touches the pregnant women, she will walk by herself to the palace, without no force. This made it more difficult for anyone to suspect. Once kidnapped, they move them to a sacred hut far away in the forest, shrouded in mystery and darkness. Ancient vines crawl up the walls, their thorns like razor-sharp knives. Guarding the entrance, 2 stone statues loom, their glowing red eyes piercing through the night, a place no one knew about. The pregnant women spend 3 days and nights in the sacred hut with calabash on their head. On the 3rd day, the soul of the unborn child is passed on to the king, an atrocity performed by the priest, after which the pregnant women gets killed and thrown into the forest for vultures to feed on. Years passed, and King Ebuka's reign seemed blessed. His people prospered, and his power grew. The villagers began to whisper among themselves about the strange disappearances of pregnant women. No one suspected the king, however, as he cleverly concealed his involvement. Whenever the case is brought to the king, he will act surprised, as if he didn't know about the incident. He will then assure the family of the missing pregnant women that their daughter will be found. King Ebuka used more than the said 5 years on the throne. Now his reign has gotten to 15 years. He kept growing young and alive. After 15 years, the next sacrifice was to be done, and his guards went into the village as usual. In the village, there lived a very hard-working farmer. His name is Easy. He has plantations of crops, mostly of which the whole village buy from. His produce served as one of the main sources of food for the village. His farm also has large barns for storage and livestock, with a farmhouse for his family. His farm is a thriving agricultural hub, providing sustenance and employment for the village community. Aside from being a farmer, he had knowledge of herbs and roots, and that of magic as well. Haven learnt it from his late grandpa. Ezi has a wife, Uloma. They both work on his farm together for years. After many years of seeking a child from God, he finally answered their prayers. Uloma got pregnant for 4 months. They didn't notice, not until her stomach started growing big. This was a good news for the family of Ize. He became a happier man since his wife got pregnant. One day, while working on the farm, the palace guards visited Ize. They told him that his attention is needed by the king within 24 hours. He was shocked to hear this. Why does the king want me in the palace? Why is it so sudden? He asked rhetorically, however. His wife encouraged him to go, assuring him that nothing will happen.
Our king has always been a nice man, and everyone can testify to that. Go, my husband. I will be home waiting for you,
Uloma said. Easy visited the king in his palace that same day. As he visited, the king appreciated his hard work in the village. He recognized the fact that most of his crops fed the village. He further told Is that his hard work has gained him a huge recognition in the village, and he wants to be one of his chiefs. Easy, King Ebuka started.
I will make you one of my respected chiefs. You will wine and dine with me. You will wear the clothes that I wear and sleep on the same bed I sleep. You will attend occasions I attend. And this begins right now. However, I prepared a big farmland for you in Amadu village. I will want you to visit the farm to see how large it is, and then come back to tell me what you think you can plant on the farm. After this, you will be made my chief.
Amadu village is their neighboring village. The king had just bought a large portion of land in the village for Iz. However, an offer which looked very amazing will cause more harm for Easy, something he has yet to realize. Easy could not believe his ears. It was too much for him to believe that he thought he was dreaming. He happily accepted the offer and told the king he will visit the farm the next day. I can't wait to share the good news with my wife, he said. On getting home, Ezi shared the news with his wife, and their joy knows no bound. They thanked God for answering their prayers more than they expected. Uloma prepared Ezi's favorite meal that night. He ate to his satisfaction, in preparation for the next day. The next day, in the morning, Easy grabbed his sack and went to Amadu village. The journey to Amadu village takes a whole day, likewise coming back. Easy will be on this journey for 2 days before he returned. His wife bade him farewell as he leaves. The king's guards, who have been watching and waiting around Easy's house, finally came out of their hiding. They went in and brought Uloma out of the house, and as usual of them, whenever they touch the pregnant women, they will voluntarily follow them without any alarm. Uloma was kept in the sacred room since arrival in the sacred chamber, kneeling down with a ritual calabash on her head like other pregnant women have experienced.